Okay, good afternoon. I'm Penny, board certified holistic health practitioner, qualified herbalist, and aromatherapist. Today we are discussing how to store ferments. It's very simple. You move them into cold storage in your refrigerator. What happens is the fermentation slows down a little, which is important because if you leave your ferments at room temperature and it does not slow down, it keeps on fermenting, okay? And your food would end up spoiled. So when your fermentation is done to your liking, I usually leave mine out fermenting for about a week, and that's good for me. It's your choice however long you want to leave it. You then move them into cold storage and it will continue to age and ferment over time. And it gets even better and more probiotic rich. Now, this is with vegetables, not fruit ferments. Like, I'm talking about like garlic, onions, sauerkraut, beets, kimchi. Now, storing your ferments in the fridge at 30 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit will help prevent the growth of bacteria and formation of toxins. Before adding your ferments in the fridge, you can add a few tablespoons, depending on the jar size, of vinegar or apple cider vinegar to your fermentation. And yes, in the honey ones as well. Botulism is a concern I hear people talk about and comment about. But botulinum needs a near oxygen-free environment to grow. It's not even common, guys. Be careful of what you read on Google. It's not always correct. And be careful of the gurus on TikTok that you may follow if they are not trained on what they share when it comes to health. Okay? Botulinum does not like acid. You can add vinegar of choice, as I said, or lemon or lime juice to help keep them free from foodborne botulinum. If you want to know information about honey, don't look to Google. Look to a professional beekeeper, as I did. If you want to know about herbs, look to a qualified herbalist. If you want to know about thyroid issues, you don't look to your family doctor. Guys, you look to someone who specializes in it, and that's an endocrinologist. Too many people go straight to Google. You get my point. Okay, so now heating honey on high heat is what you need to be more concerned about than putting your honey in the fridge. And I'm talking about at high temperatures, like when you cook with honey, it will certainly damage the enzymes in the honey. Adding it to tea is fine. Did you know honey actually heats to 95 degrees in the beehive itself, and it still contains all of its health benefits? I'm talking about cooking it down. It's not good. You can use maple syrup or other sweeteners. People have made comments that they think you leave honey fermented out on the counter because that's what's going around TikTok and that's what the gurus say to do. This is the case when it's just honey. You leave it out, including raw honey. You leave it out, but once you add vegetables, and they're cut vegetables such as onions and garlic, they need to be stored long term in the fridge, or they will grow bad bacteria and end up rotting and possibly molding and could end up with botulinum. Because of the fermentation process, this does not harm the honey, even raw honey in the fridge. Let me explain. Let's talk about honey fermentation. Once you cut your garlic or onions or any other veggie and it has gone through the fermentation process, it's important to store them in the fridge so they do not rot or grow mold. This does not harm, as I said before, the fermentation. It does slow it down, which is important. It then gets more probiotic rich over time. Okay? Placing your honey fermentation in the fridge helps prevent botulinum from growing. Botulism is inhibited below 40 degrees Fahrenheit, but lactobacillus, I think that's how you say it, probiotic, will still grow. It's just going to grow slowly, which is important, as I've said. So to answer your questions and concerns from my research and classes I've taken on general fermenting veggies, I've learned they belong in the fridge. After learning what I've just shared, it's your choice to leave your garlic and onions out on the counter. But me, it goes straight in the fridge. Always, and I've always done this. Now, honey infused with spices and powders like marshmallow root, slippery elm, sage, thyme, anything like that for colds and cough, any herb powders. You can leave these out on the counter. I'm talking about only veggies cut in honey need to be refrigerated. I hope this helps and I've answered most questions. Oh, one more thing. Your honey fermentation will last up to a year in the fridge and even longer if you add apple cider vinegar or lemon or lime juice, any kind of acid like that. It helps to preserve it. But trust me, you will use it sooner during the cold and flu season. Okay, and as for children are concerned, you may be concerned, can they have honey? Yes, they can have it 1 year of age, not 2, 1. Okay, you can even give it to them 12 months on, but we're going to just be on the safe side and say 1 on up. It isn't 2. Okay, you're going to read on Google 2. This is not correct. So, if you enjoyed learning about this, fermentations and how you store it, follow for more. And also I have a video on onions and their benefits, which kind of goes along with this video and all the concerns I've had with that video on fermenting them. And I also have a video on fermenting the onions and garlic, so if you want to check that out. So this is my onions, garlic, and I add sage for sore throat. It's good for sore throats. And I use the purple onions, okay? So you want to use your purple and your yellow onions because they are more medicinal and have higher amount of antioxidants. Okay, thank you. Follow for more.